And so these are stories of rich dead guys and how they got successful.
I don't think you can or should say that.
Oh, sorry. These are principles from previously successful people who were previously alive.
What's up, everybody? My name is Russell Brunson. I'm here today with...
I'm Steve Larsen.
And you are dressed very dramatically today, I may say.
We've demonstrated this jacket amazingly, I'll also say.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Makes me wonder what we're talking about today. It could be something that we like to call a dramatic demonstration. What, by the way, is a dramatic demonstration? I'm curious.
A dramatic demonstration is a formula that all these old rich dead marketers used to use in the 1800s and 1900s to actually go launch their thing and get all the traffic that they need to get sales.
Yeah, and what's interesting is nowadays, most entrepreneurs and marketers, they put up a funnel, they place an ad, and they hope for the best. Where what we want to talk about is how to actually have big impact and change the world and get the attention, the eyeballs you need by incorporating these dramatic demonstrations into your business to blow things up. In fact, last week we did a dramatic demonstration that added over 1,000 people to our continuity program in 2 days, which would have taken me on an average probably 6 to 8 months with paid ads. We did it in 2 days from one dramatic demonstration. Like, they're pretty powerful. In fact, they probably know this yet. Right now, Steve and I are working on a book called Dramatic Demonstrations to teach you guys exactly how to use these in your business. That's number one. But number two, what else is happening prior to the book being written?
We're actually doing a 3-day in-person workshop. It's happening one time, and we're going to go through and help you guys design one of these for your own business so you guys can have your own dramatic demonstration.
It's going to be awesome. And I'm excited because there's a lot of pieces of dramatic demonstrations. There's the big ones, there's small ones, there's dramatic demonstrations, affiliates. There's a whole bunch of pieces that most people aren't aware of. A lot of people think, oh, it's a challenge or a webinar. It's like, well, that's a piece of it. There's so much more. We talk about all the different ways. But on top of it, one of the things I'm most excited for is something Steve's been doing with a whole bunch of clients. First, he did it twice with me for 2 of our brands, a bunch of other things. It's this cool thing that he calls an offer hook. And part of this event is he's actually going to do one of these specifically, like, with them. Right? How's this work?
I'm going to write your offer hook for you. And so one-on-one what'll happen as part of this workshop, we'll jump on. It takes about 2 or 3 hours, and I'll write with you your offer hook. And what this is the thing that you're actually launching with the dramatic demonstration. So this is the piece of copy that you need to kind of tie together from the dramatic demonstration to your funnel and your offers and what you're putting out on the internet.
Now, he can't like toot his own horn because that's awkward, but I can. These are insane. Like, you literally would pay $10,000 just to have him do this one piece for you. It's that powerful. It's that important. I know you just did one for Stacey Martino and it flipped her entire business over, and I wish I could share it with you, but it is insane. Anyway, that's something you're getting as a bonus if you attend this event. And again, the event costs less than what you would pay him just to do that one piece. And so you're getting the 3-day event, which we're going to create so we can write the book. You're going to get Steve working on the offer hook for you, and then a bunch of other really cool things. It's going to be awesome. But I want to pass over you so you kind of go deep into everything, so you know exactly what they're getting, why they should be there, why they should come to Boise, Idaho to learn about dramatic demonstrations, and maybe the attendees could dress up like this.
I think you all need one of these, yeah.
That might be kind of cool. So I'm going to pass it back to you to let them know exactly what's going to be happening.
Let me show you how it works.
This is a one-time ever thing, and it's going to happen here inside this studio this is at Boise, Idaho. This is my event studio right here, and you'll be in one of these 60 seats right here. So super psyched about it. I'll go really fast through this, but this is how, honestly, internet entrepreneurs control daily lead flow. This is one of the main key metrics to doing that, and how Russell and I can help you kind of do that. First off, who's this workshop even for? I'm gonna go really fast through this. I know whose audience I'm talking to. I'm gonna talk fast, but also there's a few things I just wanna get through on this. Number one, this is for someone who's like, hey, I'm an internet entrepreneur, I'm an internet marketer, and I just know that I need some more leads, I need some more sales, I need more attention in the beginning of my funnel. And if I just had that, I'd hit my next 2 Comma Club, or my next 2 Comma Club X, or my first one. Okay, now we're not necessarily looking for somebody who is, you don't have to have like a certain award, but we do need to we want someone in here who, they're like, look, I just need more leads. I need more noise and attention in the beginning of this, okay? Who it's not for, someone who has no value, someone who's not willing to make noise out on the internet, someone who's like, I already know everything, okay? We're gonna teach you a lot of stuff. Dramatic demonstrations are very leveraged, okay? They attract dream customers. They let you charge more. You get life-changing results for the customers. You get, this is a clarifying, you're not coming here for Russell and I to mind dump on you for 3 days. We're gonna teach a lot, but it's also a workshop. You should leave with a lot of clarity, okay? You will leave with a plan. You'll leave with things done and created, okay? What's cool about this also is that customers seek you out. It changes the direction of attention. This means instead of waking up and seeking leads, a dramatic demonstration, and I mean, I've been doing this with my clients also, like dramatic demonstration, it changes the direction of attention so that it's not that you wake up and seek leads, you wake up and realize that you've been sought. People are trying to work with you. Okay. So you don't need a massive list for this also. In fact, Barnum, when he first started using this formula, when I found it, like no one really knew who he was. He kind of was a nobody. So it's not about having a huge following. You don't need professionally built stuff. You don't need full-time tech people or anything like that as well. You do need to follow the process though. In fact, not following one of these things is kind of like removing a leg from a three-legged stool. Okay. Why are we doing this? Russell and I are on a mission to help people build stronger lead systems. And to do that, we've found all of these proven models from the 1800s and 1900s of people who didn't have the internet. And then now as we've been applying them to modern businesses, it's cool to see how much they explode. And so with all of our findings, now we're publishing the dramatic demonstration book together with it. So my guess is that you've also felt kind of the shift that's happened on the internet lately. It's really started, I believe, in 2020. In the past, you could do, like, shotgun marketing worked, right? You could just kind of blow stuff out there. Now you kind of have to have the sniper marketing. And let me tell you why in a second here. You could dump content out on the internet and just kind of have it work just by being present. But because I believe it's because of a lot of the bland marketing that's now out there, right? In 2020, a lot of the world decided to get on the internet. I'm like, well, you can make money online, right? So there's more competition. And then number two, it's like now all this AI creates bland marketing that it means that those companies that never truly figured out how, like, what their messaging actually is, they kind of are getting buried right now. It's those companies who survived simply over the years because they had a great offer, not necessarily because they figured out marketing. Those are the companies that have been struggling. Those are the ones we're trying to find also. In the past, you could build the business first, the brand second. You can't really do that anymore. People want more the person-to-person touch. You got to build them together. In the past, it was always average cart value, convert now, convert fast, convert always. Now it's more about lifetime value. Okay, and so what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to share with you what I'm going to tell you 3 quick things on what we're going to be doing with this group of 60 entrepreneurs. We're hoping you're one of them. And if this page is up, it means I've not taken it down, and it means that we have a few seats left. So, and we're about to go tell both of our lists, which is going to be pretty cool. So it's going to fill quickly, but let me walk through this real quick with you. Okay, the first part is, first off, what is a dramatic demonstration? I want you to think about, like, what this brings you to in your business. If you think about other competitor that you have whose offer is actually worse than yours, but somehow making more money than you. Why does that happen? That's super frustrating when that happens. One of the biggest reasons is because you haven't solved the obscurity problem yet. Okay, the entrepreneur is really a problem solver, whereas the marketer is the attention getter. They're the lead gen creator, right? They're totally different mindsets. And often when I kind of point this out, a lot of people start to identify, like, wait a second, I don't know if I'm as natural in marketing as I am in entrepreneurship, or vice versa. And that's very normal. In fact, our world is kind of the only world who tries to have the same person be all those roles. Okay, that's not normal. Okay, and so if you felt the recent shift online, it might also be a shift internally where you're like, my business has grown to a spot where I'm needing to start delegating and elevating myself so I can remain strategic, right? That's a very common thing. So when you fix this, it's easier to boil the market. If we think about a market being an ocean, we often call them an ocean, right? A lot of times it's helpful to think about a dramatic demonstration as if you're boiling the ocean, right? We're no longer in the attention age, we're information age. We're in the attention age where the loudest, not the best, is likely to get paid the most. And so that's an unfortunate reality, but it's true, right? People who are just louder are getting paid more. It's part of being in business now, especially in the internet. You got to accept that part, right? Also, one demonstration is really all it takes to really turn around your business. This is I call it a red session. We're in a red session right now, right? Where if you think about a blue ocean is when you go create a market from scratch, right? A red ocean is when you disrupt an existing big competitive cutthroat market. When we're in a red session, sometimes it's easier to stay in a red ocean. A red session is an easier place to actually get leads. If you think about it, building a market just to have a place to sell is like building a mall simply because you created an innovative product. Ooh. Is that always the best way? During recession, sometimes that isn't, right? And so when you fix this, you don't have to look for traffic anymore. You're kind of stepping into an existing river instead of digging your own, okay? It's easier for people to run into your business. Lead gen becomes easier because there's people there. In a blue ocean, nobody's there. Right? I'm not saying it's a bad move. It's a great move if that's your goal. But what a lot of people are feeling right now is like, ooh, it's the best time for me to go put time, effort, money, resources, energy into building a brand new market? Or should I just learn how to disrupt the big red ocean? And that's a lot of what we're going to talk about here. one of the ways to fix what's going on right now on the internet is to switch and update your positioning, okay? So that's the second part. Now, third part is the offer hook. Russell kind of mentioned it. You have to recognize that people don't really care about your sales message until they ask about it, right? Until someone says, tell me more, anything you say can be annoying, right? Until they say, tell me more, when they raise their own hand and say, I'm interested, if you go out and you start talking about your sales message to them, it's annoying. It's not a blessing. It's annoying, right? So anyway, how do we do that? Well, we do that with the offer hook, and that's one of the reasons Russell likes it so much, is because it's a style of messaging that I've created over years of writing hooks for clients that is not about the sales message, and it's not about your offer, and it's not about you, and it's not about your business, because nobody cares yet. It's a completely different style of creating messaging, right? So anyway, so if you're like, Steve, my product's incredible, but the way I talk about it with people is by saying, you want to hear about my offer? It's annoying, especially now. People have more options. I don't know if there's necessarily an attention deficit as it is that people are more choosy with their attention. So you got to convince them before they ever want to hear your sales message, right? When you fix this, you actually get people to ask to hear what your offer actually is. You skip the sales sin of thinking also that talking about your offer is what gets people interested. That's not what gets people interested. Okay, so people often are like, Steve, I have a traffic or lead problem. I talked about this with at FHL with Russell. Right? Behold, nay, you do not have a traffic problem. There's no such thing as a traffic problem. Traffic is everywhere. What you have is a hook problem. Okay, and so that's why I'm going to be writing your hook with you one-on-one as part of this workshop. Okay, I'll do it after the workshop. So here's a bunch of hook examples. I'm not going to read these right now, just for the sake of time, but I did read them at Funnel Hacking Live. I'll read this one. Hey, doctor wants to meet again to share a few options. After your latest bone density scan showed your bones actually got weaker. This is for a client. I wrote this like 2 weeks ago. This is for a client who helps women who've been diagnosed with osteoporosis. They're going through they're jumping through the hoops that the doctor says, but their bones are still getting weaker. Anyway. So doctor says, hey, we got to talk again. But why? For months, you've gone through the doctor's orders, taking hard to pronounce medications, going on more walks, increasing calcium. Back again with the doctor, you're told things would have been worse if you hadn't been following my prescription. But the advice to keep doing what you are is the only thing you're left with. As you get back in your car, you notice that the biggest fear you have is that you end up in permanent assisted living, right? Let me speed up. What simple, unorthodox path could you take in the next 12 months to keep all those medications from slowly poisoning your bones to death? And then we got bonepoisoning.com. Now, one of the things we're going to deeply go through in this workshop is after you've created just kind of the shell of this, what do you do with it? How does this translate to a funnel? How does it get people to a funnel? What do you put on Facebook? What do you put on YouTube? What do you put on email, ads? Where does this go that brings people into the funnel? This stuff is pre-page 1 of your sales funnel. And it's one of the biggest things that I'm going to help you walk through. I'm psyched for that. This is going to be my session. This is the thing that Russell was referencing. He's like, I'd pay you just to do that for me, which he has. So I've written several for him, which has been awesome. My point with this whole thing so far is that if you have felt this shift online, who moved my cheese? It's real, okay? The cheese moved. Okay, how people buy is different, and it has changed. And if you've been on this trajectory, kind of like a little bit of a decline steadily since, you got to change something, right? Very briefly, I showed you some of the things that we're going to talk about. They're very unique. It's not in the Secrets trilogy. It's not in any of that stuff. Does it work? Yeah, we've been doing it. We've been working it. It's been amazing. And so we're inviting you to do less, not more. You should not walk away from this going, oh my gosh, I've got so much to do now again. I hear that crushing burden. That's not what this is about. This is exactly the opposite. It's momentum building. It's very clarifying. You'll have a lot of clarity on what to do when you leave as well. I'll tell you more about that in a second, why. So what if we could spend 3 days helping you implement this? If you're like, Steve, Russell, I think I'll go figure this out on my own. Yeah, you can go try that. There are a graveyard of people who are actually smart, legitimate experts who kind of did waste their time and shot on trial and error, all right, who've been trying to do this since we have been talking about it a little bit, and they think that it just means to go do another challenge, or they think that it means to just go do another webinar, or to launch louder next time. That's like, we're also talking about, that's like 10% of it. Okay, yeah, okay, you're gonna go do something else. It's the whole parts that really make sense on this. So this is our one time ever workshop that we're doing. We are filming a book recording here. I'll be writing the book for the following 3 months afterward. And we're testing it just like Russell has with all his other secrets books. There was always an event that we tested the book with before we wrote the book, right before Russell put it out. And so same thing with this. And so you guys get a chance to participate in that as well. So here's everything you guys get with the dramatic demonstration 3-day workshop. First of all, it's here. It's 60 people only. We will be working on a campaign calendar. We'll have calendars here for you. And so what I've done this a couple times in the past, like people kind of sprawl out and they draw it out, because what you're going to be designing, this isn't theory, you're going to be designing on a calendar with dates what the next 3 months for you looks like, so you can implement this. People love this. It's one of my favorite things. It is May 16th through the 18th, 2024. Now, Russell and I used to run a workshop together called the FAT event, Funnel Hackathon event, FHAT. It was 18 grand, and we did 6 or 7 of them. And we started noticing that when we had a specific set of work for someone to go through prior to coming, their results shot through the roof. Like unanimously, the whole room just was like wildly more successful than the previous group. And so I'm going to be looking at your linchpin before you come. I'm going to be looking at your business model. I'm going to be looking at who you serve. Well, let's look at your offer. Okay, let's upgrade all that. That should be done before you come. And that's one of the reasons why we want you to get started now. There's things to get done now. Okay. After the workshop, I will be writing your offer hook with you and helping you see where to put it. But that's also part of what the workshop here is. But afterwards, one-on-one, I will be one-on-one with each one of you. It'll take me a little bit, but I'm super excited about it. They take me usually about an hour or 2 each per person. Super fun. Also, we don't want you to walk away and go, ooh, I didn't understand that piece, or where can I get more on this or that or whatever. And so for the following month, after this workshop is over, we'll continue to do Q&As where I can hear what your questions are, because we're writing the book also. All right, that also scratches our back, and we're going to make it so that all the questions are answered, then it makes total sense for everybody as well. Okay. We will give you an advanced signed copy of the book when it comes out, and we'll also give you replays of the event. We'll give them out when the book comes out as well. Okay. So cool. We are doing, like I said, 60 seats. We used to do these workshops for 3 days for 18 grand. We're not doing that. But the point of this is to get the book out. So don't worry, we're not going to charge that. We're not going to charge 10 grand like Russell just talked about also just right before in this video. And we want to jump on with you. So we have a choice for you guys right now. We want to help you guys build this out. There are less than 60 spots left as of this morning. They're already selling. They're already filling up. So if this is up, then go book a call with us down below. We want to jump on with you. We want you to know the team is filled. We let calls come out about 5 days in advance. We'll talk to you about how dramatic demonstrations will fit inside your business if it makes sense to you and to us. We will share the details about joining. We'd love to have you. Don't worry, it's not freaky expensive, but we do want to make sure that the room is curated in a way where not just the amazing people get results also, but we also want to make sure that we can get everything we need and be able to teach these things to the audience, the right audience as well. Okay, so that's the reason we're doing it. If you're interested in being in one of the 60 seats, it's 15-minute call. We just want to get to know you a little bit. I'm not going to convince you if you're like, Steve, this is cool. You know if it's speaking to you. If you're an internet business owner who wants more control of your daily lead flow, you want a repeatable, dependable marketing strategy in 2024, the decision is easy. You should come to this, okay? If you want to work, I'm gonna be working with you personally, okay? With this workshop, setting up at least these 3 carriers. There's others as well, but I kind of gave you a little taste there. And if we think that we can guarantee your experience, we might decide to work together. And if you're like, Steve, I don't know if I can go do this. I don't want to get stuck in a launch business. We're not telling you to go do a launch business. Right? Like I was just saying, like this isn't about just like go do another challenge, go do another webinar, go do, just like Russell was also talking about. This is not about being in a launch business. This is about making it so that you cure that. There's nothing wrong with being in a launch business, but it is exhausting. What do you do? How do you set yourself up with better marketing systems so that you don't personally burn out, which is real, by the way. Okay. And if you're like, Steve, before I book a call, I don't know if my offer is good enough. Frankly, not to be rude, we don't either. And it's one of the reasons why we're having you get on a call. We're not just sending you to an order page. We just want to get to know you. We want to make sure it's a good fit for everyone in the room, you and us and everyone else, okay? Also, again, why are we doing this? Because you're probably overcomplicating the dramatic demonstration formula as well. Again, this is not about burdening you with more stuff. Also, because you're probably leaving sales on the table. There is probably people who are buying right now who would buy from you, but they're buying from your competitors because you're not loud enough. Eesh. Okay, so this is what it looks like. There's a calendar down below, 15 minutes, book a time with us. We've pushed a lot of people to this. And then this is really key, the last piece, and this is also tells me you watched this whole video. At the very end of this, that last bullet right there, after you book a call, there is it forwards to a page where We just want to get to know you. It's a quick get to know you form. Don't worry, it takes like 3 minutes. Just tell us a little bit about your business, tell me where you are in your business, tell me what you're struggling with your business, and then my team and I will know a little bit more about you. If you don't fill that form out, we just cancel the bookings because we assume that you didn't watch to the end of this, okay? All right, guys, thanks so much. Excited to see you on those calls and excited to see you in the dramatic demonstration workshop. Bye.